Hello, how are you today? Do you want to dive into a book that might just surprise you, whether it becomes your next favorite or one you might skip? Let's find out what readers are saying about it.
Carrie Ann Sweeney, who has 9 likes, says, 4.5 rounded up. I really need to stop judging books by the cover because I thought was going to be like gritty arthouse cinema. It certainly had realistic and harsh themes, but it wasn't as violent, dark or pessimistic as I'd assumed. Shame on me. It was so good. The story was compelling and thought-provoking. The writing and structure were propulsive. I enjoyed the blend of historical fiction, mid-1990s, and thriller. I couldn't put it down. I was completely immersed into the implications of technology, society, and complicated families on identity. Read dual format 70 audio 30 print. Found modern Mrs. Darcy Summer Reading Guide. LA, who has 64 likes, says, the first thing you have to understand is that my father was my entire world. The mid-1990s witnessed a notable increase of conspiracy theories due to the increase in technology and the internet. The public's trust in the government plummeted after many failed promises. UFO theorists thought the government was covering up after several movies depicted it as true. The end of the Cold War suggested uncertainty in other countries, and the critical race theory came to light thanks to technology. So many people began to plan for a fight against enemies unknown. In an isolated cabin in Montana, Jane knows only the world that she and her father live in. Her father, Saul, a conspiracy theorist, sees the world as the death of society due to lack of respect for nature and the increase in technology. He earned 4 degrees at Harvard with his knowledge presented to his daughter, who had to diligently study Thoreau's philosophy. As his anti-government issues grew, she began to see a chilling side. He became more challenging and controlling as he lived in fear. When she became part of a horrific crime, she ran. As she set out on her own, she tried to find her way, feeling isolated in an unknown world. This is a thought-provoking book. Not everything you disagree with. Some points are valid, but later revealed as a mental illness. This book will challenge your thoughts and awareness and may become one of the top books for 2025. The author did a great job researching the historical part of society and presenting it in a fictional way. Thank you NetGalley and Random House Publishing Group for this arc in exchange for my honest review. Lizzie Brannon, who has 19 likes, says, easy. The 5th of June is bursting at the seams with great books. This work of historical fiction was almost more like a thriller. I was not expecting this ride. Jane Williams is almost 18. She has lived off the grid in Montana with her father, Saul, for as long as she can remember. Saul has a brilliant mind and has educated Jane in anti-technology philosophy and literature, as well as survival skills. Sometimes her father goes on week-long trips without her. He knows he has taught her well. As Jane has grown older, she has become increasingly curious about the world and more suspicious of her father. One day, when her father is gone, she decides to break into his tightly locked office to see if she can find any clues. And now, there is no going back from the truth she has discovered. She formulates a plan to escape. But when that plan leads her to travel with her father on his next trip out, her whole life is derailed, and a new trajectory is set in motion, completely out of her control. Incredible book. Brilliant writing. I adore nature tropes. And Janelle Brown painted a beautiful picture of Saul and Jane's lives off the grid. I was caught off guard at the direction the storyline took. I did not expect this book to be so captivating. It truly is. This one is a must-read. Megan's Book Club, who has 27 likes, says, rounding up from 2.5, just know that you need to really love the coming-of-age genre to enjoy this story. It was slow-moving and at times pretty insufferable. I remember really enjoying Janelle Brown's book Pretty Things because it held some suspense in the mystery. But this one was extremely slow and did not hold my attention at all. Even the audiobook was bland. Unfortunately, we needed more in every aspect of the story and characters. Jan B., who has 73 likes, says, "This is a blend of historical fiction and mystery. It's set in the 1990s when the exciting world of the dot-com era startups were happening, along with the environment where the Unabomber mentality flourished. When the trappings of modern society and the age of the internet were met with distrust. 17-year-old Jane and her dad have lived in a remote cabin in Montana since she was 4. They live a quiet existence of books and homesteading skills necessary for living life off the grid. Her father has strong beliefs regarding modern society and the digital age. They are a powerful force living life on their own terms, but then her dad brings home a computer. And Jane's life opened up to a world beyond her own via the internet. She begins to question everything she thought she knew. Yet, isn't there a kernel of truth to her father's beliefs while finding his methods abhorrent in hindsight? Isn't there much we know in 2025 that lends credence to his thoughts, and this dichotomy is the conundrum? Jane is a true stranger in a strange land as she begins to venture outside her narrow world. What follows is a harrowing, sad journey. To say more would involve spoilers, so I will only say it's a worthwhile read which will surely be on my favorites list this year. I did have to accept some unlikely coincidences. But still, all the stars for such a compelling, thought-provoking read.